Yeah, don't do me first.
Come on.
No. Pelicans reaching the NBA Finals.
Super Bowl.
Winning in 7.
Seeing the Earth.
What do you mean?
Seeing the Earth.
Like from like a space station?
From my eyes. Freedom.
Am I sexy yet? Is my beard?
Your beard is fine.
Is there food in it? My definition of happiness is understanding that things are good, and understanding that there are some things in your life that are not total shit, and understanding that means that you can take it and be like, okay, that's these things that are really good. We've been through bad things. Now we can understand it. We can understand why these things are good. We can understand why happiness is a thing. That's a fucking weird answer, you know, but I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
I don't want to feel like I'm ever working. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to feel like I'm like ever doing something that like even comes remotely close to like manual labor. Like I want to enjoy like whatever it is I do. Like regardless if it's like a job, I don't want it to feel like a job. Like I don't want to be like working so that I can live. Like I want to be living like all the time. And if I can do that, then I think I'm happy.
Happiness, God. God. Jesus. I love it, baby.
So it's not material items, it's not what you have, it's not money, it's taking value in your friends and family and enjoying time with them and making every moment count.
Equality for all. Free health care. Hey USA, Canada here.
A lack of problems? Yeah, I guess so.
Happiness to me is like with no problem, like going through life, taking everything by storm.
To wake up every day loving what you do and doing what you love.
That works for me too.
Putting smiles on other people's faces. I think that would, that's about it.
Joy. That's all I got.
Remain teachable to new experience.
To put optimism over negativity.
It is a feeling in the center of my being that lets me know everything is okay, no matter what happens in the next seconds that follow.
Well, the Buddhists say the beginning of unhappiness is want, so having what I need.
Guilt-free conscience, freedom, knowledge that you're doing something to make the world a better place or help your fellow man.
Having a non-trivial conversation with both friends and strangers.
One thing that I think makes me happy is being brave.
Yeah. My personal definition of happiness is definitely finding meaning out of the suffering that you experience here on this earth. That's my personal definition of happiness.
True happiness comes either in brief moments or from the collection of those brief moments.
For me, happiness is having a belief system and following those beliefs, which for me means teaching people and making other people's lives much better.
Happiness is knowing who you are. It sounds really cliche, but it's cliche because it's the truth.
Freedom.
Freedom?
Yeah.
My definition of happiness is doing whatever you want to do without harming anybody.
Doing whatever the fuck you want and drinking a beer in the morning.
Doing what you love, spreading love, sharing, and recycling.
My personal definition of happiness is this guy and artwork, making lots of art all the time, forever. Art, making art. That's my definition of happiness. Creating whenever you fucking want to. Cut out that fuck part, but like also have me saying to cut it out too.
I guess being calm.
My personal definition of happiness is love, man.
Living here.
Living here in New Orleans?
Yeah, man. New Orleans is like a low-grade mushroom trip. Every day you have, and I just fucking see that moment. Right. And yeah,
every day. But you find fulfillment down here, man.
Peace on earth. Why can't we all just get along?
I don't know, dating myself.
Having you dated yourself?
Yeah.
Being yourself and finding the courage in your heart to be yourself, and happiness flows from that.
If you choose to be happy with what you have, it's guaranteed you're going to be happy.
You have to love yourself to be a reflection for other people. That's what they see. So it's something that's self-generated within.
Just what brings me joy in life, I guess. If doing what you think brings you joy every single day, and just taking everything you have and are given in life and making the most of it, for sure.
I think feeling content and not feeling restless, so feeling okay with where you're at, even if it's not where you want to end up. Knowing you have the means to happiness.
Just being able to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, and where you want.
Means carrying the fire. Means carrying the joy that you have. Yeah.
Complete faith in myself. My personal definition of happiness is doing what makes you happy and being around people that make you happy.
Do as you please.
My personal definition of happiness is anything that makes you smile.
Is spending time with people that are important to you and just doing things that just feel naturally good to you.
My definition of happiness is my family. They're good people.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
For me, I think that happiness is a little bit like overrated. Like I feel like for me, like more peace is maybe like what other people think of as happiness, I think of as peace.
Yeah.
And I think peace is like having no walls between you and the external world,
Yeah, I would just say it's being content, like being content with your person and your relationships and your positions.
Being pain-free. Being pain-free, yeah. And then, not having to worry about, expenses and such. Right. Yeah.
Like Manchester United winning on Sundays. I don't know. Like maybe I'm up early and have a beer. I don't know. Sounds great.
I don't know. Hold on, let me stand up for a second.
I don't know. Can I give you a moment? Living my life according to the way I want to, like seeing my nephew and family on FaceTime even though I'm halfway across the country, and just really going down the road less traveled and having a good time, especially here. We just walked and it was one of the best trips I've ever had. So
I think happiness partly comes from the the right balance in your life and accepting the fact that there's pain, there's sadness, and then there's just okay times, and you once you're all right with that, then you can experience those happy moments. But I guess being present is a big part of it too.
And cats, really.
And cats. Really what it boils down to is cats.
Yes.
Happiness for me is that infinitesimally little crystal clear but tiny moment where I realize that I've done something good and I can give myself credit for it, and I can forgive myself for all the things that I thought I could have done better.
Happiness is temporary. It's a mood. It comes and goes, but so I don't believe happiness is something that you should want to achieve. It's fulfillment that you should strive for.
Happiness is just self-fulfillment. It's being satisfied with yourself, what you're putting into the world, and what you're getting back out. Yeah.
My personal definition of happiness, or when I feel like I'm most happy, is when I'm sitting somewhere and just completely enjoying the moment and not thinking about anything but the moment itself.
I guess happiness is when you are just content with the world and nothing can go wrong and you're just with good people.
Happiness is when I can make other people laugh.
Decided for me, it would be creating, making things. Pulling your own sense of creativity into the world and putting it forth.
Well, my happiness is bringing or helping people achieve something that they've never achieved before. That brings me happiness. Helping people who can't help themselves is what I consider happiness for myself.
Okay, so I'm sitting here drinking wine. Good friends. This guy's eating a banana. This is happiness. This is what it is.
I think it's balancing self-satisfaction and satisfying the people you care about and creating unity. That was bullshit.
It's about taking risks that make you uncomfortable and pursuing them so strongly that people are actually convinced that you're comfortable with this. But quite honestly, no one fucking knows.
Love.
Love?
Everybody uses it, but we also want to be loved.
I think happiness is what we make of it.
Well, I have a personal definition of happiness that I distinguish from calmness. I am a psychoanalytically oriented psychotherapist, and a lot of people are in turmoil when they come to me. They're not happy, and the goal of therapy is not to make people happy, but to make them calm. Now, as to what Freud said consisted of happiness, happiness, according to Freud, was Leben und Arbeiten. That means love and work. And people who love well and work well are satisfied and fulfilled.
Happiness. Shit. It would be in some fashion linked to, I guess, like the idea of satisfaction broadly. I think that human happiness generally tends to be linked with the ability for a person to be like satisfied in the place that they're living. You know, if I'm satisfied with my status, I guess across the board I'd probably remain happy, and I think that's probably the best.
That's a big question. It's to always try my hardest, and no matter what the result, I'll never be letting myself down. So.
Oh man. Just like doing what you like, and like preferably making money off of it. Being around people who like lift you up and allow you to be who you want to be.
My personal definition of happiness, the like reality of being alive in the moment and like not thinking about where I'm gonna be 10 years from now, where I'm gonna be a year from now, wherever I'm gonna be, like that. I think my happiness comes from like the people that I have on my daily life and like the time that I spend with them and like the things that I do, the music that I play, the people that I see, the places I go in the world. Yeah.
Sex often.
A truck bed full of cigarettes.
Honestly, waking up every day not wanting to to do something terrible to myself.
I believe in every day is a blessed day if you wake up and you get to see the people you love. And 2005, go Sox! All right. White Sox.
Fuck you, go Cubs!
Woo! That's what I'm saying. You know that's right.
Damn it!
Anything that makes you and other people feel good.
I think happiness is seeing someone else happy. That would be my happiness. Because if anything around me isn't, I can't be.
Having a balance between mind, body, and health.
Is performing my instrument in front of as many people as I can, wherever I can.
Yeah, you know, just having general freedom without having to really align yourself to necessarily with people's, I guess, impressions of you have to be like, if that makes any sense at all.
It does, no, that does.
Well, I think that for me, happiness is really looking for what brings meaning to me and then pursuing that. So figuring out what would make me feel meaningful in the world and making sure that whatever I do kind of fits in with that, and surrounding myself with people that I love and who love me and make me feel good.
I would say either freedom or choice.
I would say it's being with people you love. That's what I would say happiness is.
I guess happiness is just life, you know? Everything's, I don't know, it's just life, you know? That's all I can say. Just being with like my friends and family and just all the people that I love.
Doing something you love or finding something you love.
Happiness, it's just a feeling of well-being and contentment, and just it's an inner peace, basically. And doing something you like to do, whatever it is, being with people you like to be, doing activities you like to be, just taking in a beautiful world. But it's just a peaceful state of contentment.
Knowing that you're one with the world. It's the pursuit of it.
Happiness is something that you can make yourself, but not necessarily at the expense of others.
L-O-K-I. My personal definition of happiness is being comfortable with the universe, knowing yourself, loving the energy around you. That's my definition of happiness.
My personal definition of happiness is whatever makes your spirit smile.
My personal definition of happiness is, you're going to laugh, but it's when I make other people happy. It gives me a lot of joy to bring a smile to someone's face and to know that I made their world just a little bit better.
Being joyful and just energetic and all over the place.
My definition of happiness is when I'm sitting there with my son, who's severely disabled, and I'm holding him, and he's smiling and laughing, he's healthy, and life is good. It doesn't get any better than that.
My personal definition of happiness. Being content, not really needing anything, wanting for anything. Being around people that I really care about brings me happiness, personal happiness.
I had a few tumultuous decades where I wasn't sure what happiness was or what happiness meant for me. So I spent a long time chasing after a dragon that I realized didn't actually exist. I thought happiness was bells and whistles and drama and that kind of stuff. And it turns out that happiness for me is stability. It's having the bills paid. It's not worrying about having a roof over my head. Waking up on a daily basis and making the choice every morning to be happy no matter what's going on around me. It's the realization that if I wait for anything external to make me happy, I'll be waiting forever. My personal definition of happiness is peace. That's happiness for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think when I think of happiness, I think of 2 times of my life when I've had this oceanic feeling where I was one with everything I was looking at. They were passing moments, very quickly passing moments, with a minute or 2 at the most. And I immediately felt I was part of what was in nature at that time and my surroundings. So much a part that it was an extension of me, or I was an extension of that. There was no identity to myself.
Lost yourself
to speak of. And I always thought that I came with the idea of, before I had an identity, from that time when I was in my mama's womb, and I popped out, and let's assume at that time of course I'm born. But at that time, there were no conflicts between me and civilization. There was no conflicts about identity, that what I am and what I have to repress and what I am. I was at ease. I was happy.